All right, Jessica, Tiffany, and Ken, we are going to try something very unusual and probably just a little bit silly. But as you know, I'm having a little bit of trouble always getting in to get to your lesson, so I thought I would try something new today. As you can tell, we are on lesson 31. By the time we finish this lesson, I want you to have reviewed and remembered exactly what the area of a rectangle is and how we find the area, as well as comparing differences. Remember that a difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. Let's begin with discussing the areas of rectangles. First of all, let's do a quick review with another common term that sometimes we confuse with area, and that term is perimeter. If you remember, perimeter is just like a walk around a block. It is the distance it takes to go all the way around an object. That is the perimeter. We've been talking about this for many years. Another common term we use when we are looking at a geometric shape is the area. The area refers to how much space is inside a two-dimensional object, something that has length and width. We use different units to measure perimeter and area. To measure perimeter, we simply use units of length like centimeters, inches, feet, and sometimes even miles. But to measure area, we are using square units. And that's because what we're really asking is how many squares does it take to fill up the center of an object or a shape. I'm going to turn to the next page now. Would you please do the same? We're on page 154. I'm going to make sure that you can see the same thing I am seeing. I'm going to move our paper down just a little bit, and here we go. So, to use and measure area, we use units like square centimeters, square feet, and square yards, just like as though we were counting tiles in a floor. We use abbreviations for the word square. In this case, we can write SQ to mean the same as square. You also remember we have that thing called an exponent. It's a little number 2, in this case up above another number. We read this as 4 squared. In example 1, we are asked how many floor tiles, 1 foot on each side, are needed to cover the room that is 8 feet wide and 12 feet long. Well, certainly one way to solve this problem is to count it all. But now that you're in Saxon 6, you know the shorter, faster, easier method is to simply multiply the length times the width. In this case, we will multiply 12 times 8 and come up with 96. Therefore, our answer, if we're being asked how many tiles, is 96 tiles. I'm going to adjust the paper now so that you can see more of your page. Let's look down at example 2. Oh, before we do that, let's go back to example 1 again. We need 96 tiles to cover a floor this big, and if I were to ask you what is the area of the floor, you would say it is 96 square feet. And again, you may use abbreviations just like you see here. Now we're moving on to example 2. In this case, we are asked what is the area of this rectangle. We know the width is 4 centimeters. The length is 8 centimeters. Therefore, we are being asked how many square centimeters are needed to fill up this entire space. Again, the formula for finding area is area equals length times width. So in this case, the area will equal 8 centimeters times 4 centimeters, and we get 32 centimeters squared. Centimeters times centimeters. That's a quick review of area. Let's move on to comparing differences.